Friends, imagine waking up this new year and realizing that your life is about to change. Not because of luck, not because of someone else, but because you decided to change. What if I told you that the blessings you've been praying for are already waiting for you, but they cannot enter your life until you make 6 simple yet powerful changes? Today I am going to reveal these 6 life-transforming changes that will unlock the blessings this new year has in store for you. Stay with me, because your future self will thank you for every moment you spend listening to this message. The reason you must listen carefully is this: many people pray, hope, and dream, yet nothing changes. Why? Because blessings require action, alignment, and transformation. If you apply even one of these 6 changes, your life will begin to shift. And if you embrace all 6, this could be the year you experience miracles you never imagined. 1. Change your mindset. The first step is to believe that good things are possible for you. The mind is a powerful gateway. If you think scarcity, failure, or negativity, you will attract it. But if you embrace faith, hope, and gratitude, doors will open that you never even knocked on. 2. Change your habits. Blessings require preparation. Ask yourself, are my daily actions bringing me closer to my dreams or farther away? Replace destructive patterns with habits of discipline, prayer, meditation, and focus. The smallest daily improvement can create enormous change by the end of the year. 3. Change your relationships. Look at the people you spend the most time with. Are they nurturing your growth or feeding your fears? To step into your blessings, you must surround yourself with encouragers, visionaries, and those who lift your spirit. 4. Change your perspective on challenges. Every obstacle is not a punishment, it is a lesson. Blessings often come disguised as challenges. If you shift your perspective, you will discover opportunities hidden in every difficulty. 5. Change your priorities. What you value most determines where your energy flows. Ask yourself, am I prioritizing the temporary or the eternal? Align your priorities with your highest goals, and blessings will follow naturally. 6. Change your words. Finally, speak life over your year. Words are seeds. Speak blessings, not curses. Speak faith, not fear. What you declare consistently will shape your reality. Friends, let me begin by saying this: the mind is the battlefield where your destiny is decided. Every blessing, every breakthrough, every miracle you are waiting for begins in your mind. Too often we pray and hope for change while our thinking remains trapped in doubt, fear, and limitation. I want you to truly grasp this. Your thoughts are the invisible architects of your future. If you believe that you are stuck, if you believe that life is against you, if you live each day thinking that you are unlucky, then your mind will build a life that mirrors those beliefs. Your external circumstances are simply a reflection of your inner world. Many people wake up each morning with a mind clouded by worries about bills, school, family, or their place in the world, and they wonder why nothing changes. Let me tell you, friends, it is because the mind has the power to attract or repel blessings. A closed mind, one that says, I can't, or it's impossible, is like a door that is firmly shut. No matter how many prayers are whispered or how many steps you take, nothing will enter. But a mind that says, I believe, I am capable, I am worthy of good things, is a mind that opens wide the windows of heaven and allows blessings to pour in. Think about this. Even the most talented individuals, the most gifted, the most hardworking, can fall short if their mindset is wrong. Why? Because the mind governs your perception of opportunity. When you face challenges, a mind filled with doubt will see only obstacles. But a mind full of faith will see possibilities where others see impossibilities. The same situation, the same challenge, the same circumstance can destroy one person and propel another forward. The difference is not luck or skill alone, it is mindset. Now, let me share with you a truth that many overlook. Your mind is not only a tool for thinking, it is a magnet for the experiences of your life. When you constantly focus on what you lack, when you dwell on fears, regrets, or limitations, you're actually signaling to the universe, to life itself, that this is what you want more of. Thoughts repeated with emotion become beliefs, and beliefs become your reality. It's as simple as that. A mindset of scarcity will attract scarcity. A mindset of abundance will attract abundance. A mindset of faith will attract miracles. Consider this. Every new year, we make resolutions. We promise ourselves we will exercise more, eat healthier, study harder, or save money. Yet, by the third week, many of us fail. Why? Because we did not first change our thinking. We treated our mind as if it were irrelevant to the outcome. But nothing external can flourish unless the mind is prepared. The first step in unlocking the blessings of a new year is to renew your mind, to reshape your thinking, to align your mind with the life you desire. You must train your thoughts as you would train a muscle, because the strongest force in your life is the force of your own mind. Friends, take a moment and ask yourself, what thoughts dominate your mind on a daily basis? Are they thoughts of limitation, fear, and self-doubt, or are they thoughts of hope, faith, and possibility? If you want to experience new blessings, you must intentionally replace negative thoughts with positive ones. This is not wishful thinking, it is spiritual principle. The Bible says, "As a man thinks in his heart, so is he." Your heart and your mind are connected. What you dwell on becomes the soil in which your life grows. Sow seeds of faith and watch as they blossom into real change. One powerful practice to change your mindset is to meditate on what is good, what is true, and what is life-giving. Begin each day declaring affirmations of faith. I am capable of more than I realize. I am blessed with wisdom and strength. This year is full of opportunities that I can seize. Speak these thoughts over your mind with conviction and do it consistently. Your mind is like a garden. If you plant weeds of doubt and fear, you will harvest frustration and failure. But if you plant seeds of belief, faith, and expectation, your life will flourish in ways you cannot yet imagine. Another essential aspect of changing your mindset is surrounding yourself with thoughts and people that elevate your thinking. If your mind is constantly fed with negative news, pessimistic voices, or discouraging environments, it will be very difficult to maintain a mindset that attracts blessings. Your mind absorbs what it focuses on, so choose carefully what you allow in. Read inspiring books, listen to uplifting messages, and spend time with those who encourage growth and possibility. Remember, a healthy mind produces a healthy life, and you must protect your mind as fiercely as you would protect your most valuable possession. Friends, it is also crucial to understand that changing your mindset does not mean ignoring reality. It does not mean pretending that life has no challenges. It means facing reality with a perspective that empowers rather than defeats. When you encounter difficulties, do not allow your mind to dwell on despair. Instead, ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? How can I turn this challenge into a stepping stone for my future? A mind that seeks solutions, that looks for lessons, that expects breakthrough even in difficulty, will attract blessings that a complaining, fearful mind could never receive. Finally, remember this: a renewed mind is a magnet for divine guidance, inspiration, and creative solutions. When you change your mindset, you change the way you perceive the world and the way the world responds to you. Your thoughts shape your actions shape your character, and your character shapes your destiny. Blessings cannot flow freely to a mind that is stuck in old patterns, limited thinking, or fear-based decisions. The new year is an invitation to renew your thinking, to embrace faith-filled thoughts, to cultivate a mindset that welcomes miracles, and to reject the lies that have held you back. Friends, let me tell you something that many people overlook. Your habits are the silent architects of your destiny. The new year is not just a changing of the calendar. It is an opportunity to rebuild the foundations of your life. Yet so many of us pray for change. We wish for breakthroughs, and we dream of blessings. But we fail to recognize that the doors of success and favor are opened not merely by desire, but by consistent, purposeful action. What you do every day, your small, repeated choices, shapes the trajectory of your life far more than any single big decision. Consider this carefully. The habits you carry into this new year are either lifting you toward the blessings that await, or they are keeping you trapped in the cycle of disappointment. Some habits seem harmless, even normal, but over time they accumulate, creating either momentum toward progress or patterns of stagnation. If you want to experience transformation, if you want to step into the fullness of blessings this year, you must examine your habits closely and decide which to keep and which to release. Every habit is a seed, and the harvest is inevitable. Plant weeds, and you will harvest struggle. Plant seeds of discipline, diligence, and faith, and you will harvest abundance and fulfillment. Friends, let us think about the power of small daily actions. Many people wait for one dramatic moment to change their lives, but life is rarely transformed by a single action. It is the repetition of small, intentional behaviors that builds character, shapes destiny, and positions you for blessings. Brushing your teeth, exercising, reading a book, saying a prayer, speaking life, saving a little money, choosing kindness. All of these small acts may seem insignificant, but they accumulate over time to produce extraordinary results. Your habits are the invisible hands that mold the reality you live in, and you have the power to change them. Now let us be honest with ourselves. Change is never easy. The human mind resists it because old habits are comfortable. Even habits that harm us, procrastination, negative thinking, complaining, giving in to distraction, feel familiar. They are like worn shoes that may pinch, but at least we know how they feel. To step into the blessings of this new year, you must be willing to step out of those worn shoes. You must be willing to break the routines that are holding you back, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Growth is always uncomfortable, and transformation is always inconvenient. The moment you decide to change, your old habits will resist, but you must persist. Let me share with you a secret that many do not understand. It is easier to build a new habit than to fix a broken life by waiting for luck. The mind can be trained, the body can be disciplined, and the spirit can be strengthened through daily practice. If you want to develop a habit of success, you must start small, but start consistently. One act repeated every day may seem insignificant, but over weeks and months, it compounds into results that appear miraculous. A student who reads for 30 minutes every day gains knowledge beyond what cramming could ever achieve. A person who prays and reflects consistently develops wisdom and peace. A person who invests a little every month secures financial stability over time. Habits are not temporary. They are the foundation upon which your future is built. Friends, another truth you must embrace is that your habits determine your character, and your character determines your destiny. You may desire blessings, but if your daily actions do not align with the life you seek, your desires will remain unfulfilled. Habits are the language of your soul, communicating to the universe what you truly value. If you waste your days in idleness, distraction, and negativity, you signal that you are not ready for greater responsibilities and greater blessings. But if you develop habits of diligence, integrity, discipline, and focus, you show the world and yourself that you are prepared to receive all that you have asked for. Now think about the environment in which habits grow. Friends, habits do not exist in isolation. They are nurtured by the people, places, and circumstances around us. If you want to cultivate new, life-giving habits, you must be intentional about your surroundings. Surround yourself with people who inspire discipline, faith, and excellence. Remove distractions that encourage laziness, complaints, or fear. Set up your day so that success is the natural outcome of your routines. The path to blessings is rarely accidental. It is deliberately constructed through repeated intentional action. It is also important to understand that breaking a habit is not about sheer willpower alone. Habits are often tied to emotions, comfort, and identity. To change a habit, you must replace it with another behavior that fulfills the same need in a positive way. If you are trying to overcome procrastination, you must replace it with a structured schedule that encourages focus. If you are trying to overcome negative thinking, you must replace it with prayer, meditation, or affirmations that reinforce positivity. The human mind and heart work in patterns, and the best way to change the outcome is not by fighting the old habit alone, but by creating a new pattern that attracts the outcome you desire. Friends, consider the people who have achieved extraordinary success, peace, or fulfillment. What sets them apart is rarely talent alone, opportunity alone, or luck alone. What sets them apart is their commitment to disciplined habits, to daily actions that compound over time. They did not wait for perfect circumstances. They started where they were, with what they had, and they repeated the right actions until their life transformed. You too have the same power in your hands. You may feel small, limited, or inexperienced, but consistent habits create unstoppable momentum. And let me emphasize this: the habits you form today will define the blessings you experience tomorrow. The small choices you make in moments when no one is watching are the choices that determine your destiny. The choice to rise early and study, to speak words of encouragement, to save a little, to pray, to reflect, to act in integrity. These are the choices that open the floodgates of blessing. Your life is not determined by chance. It is determined by the invisible, repeated, deliberate choices you make every day. Friends, one final truth about habits is that they are not static. They can be cultivated, strengthened, and multiplied over time. You are never too late to start, and you are never too experienced to improve. Each day is an opportunity to take control, to choose actions that move you closer to the life you desire. The new year is not just a moment on a calendar. It is an invitation to intentionally construct your future through the power of your habits. Your habits are the bridge between where you are and where you are called to be. Friends, let us speak today about one of the most overlooked yet most powerful elements in the life of anyone seeking blessings: the relationships you cultivate. Every new year presents an opportunity, not just to change ourselves, but to change the company we keep. Too often, we pray for breakthroughs, we hope for miracles, and we dream of success. Yet we remain surrounded by the same people, the same influences, the same environment that has held us back for years. Blessings cannot flow into your life when your relationships are misaligned with your destiny. Every person you allow close to your heart either lifts you toward your purpose or drags you into compromise, distraction, and limitation. Consider this carefully. Humans are designed to be influenced. The people you spend the most time with shape your attitudes, your beliefs, your habits, and ultimately your destiny. It is said that a person is the average of the 5 people they spend the most time with, and this is not just a saying, it is truth. If you find yourself surrounded by pessimism, complaint, envy, or fear, it will be almost impossible for your mind, habits, and heart to remain aligned with the blessings you seek. But if you surround yourself with encouragement, vision, faith, and integrity, your life will begin to move in the direction of success, peace, and favor. Many people cling to relationships out of habit, nostalgia, or obligation, even when these relationships drain their energy and diminish their potential. Friends, loyalty is a virtue, but it must be paired with wisdom. To step into your blessings this year, you must assess your relationships with honesty. Ask yourself, are these relationships nurturing my growth? Are they encouraging me to become better, to dream bigger, to step into my calling? Or are they holding me back, distracting me, or filling my mind with doubt and fear? This self-examination is not easy, but it is necessary if you truly desire transformation. Let me share with you a principle that is simple, yet profound. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your relationships. Your closest associations act as mirrors that reflect your values, your vision, and your possibilities. When you are surrounded by people who believe in you, who inspire you, who challenge you to rise higher, you naturally begin to elevate your own standards. Conversely, if you are surrounded by those who speak negativity, who celebrate mediocrity, or who fear ambition, your potential will be quietly eroded over time. The energy you absorb from others either propels you forward or pulls you backward. Friends, relationships are not just about social interaction, they are about influence. Every word spoken, every habit observed, every value witnessed shapes your character. If you want to attract blessings, you must be intentional about the influences you allow into your life. Surround yourself with those who exemplify the life you desire. Spend time with people who are disciplined, faithful, and courageous. Spend time with those who speak life, who encourage dreams, who demonstrate integrity. Their energy will seep into your own, and their example will show you what is possible. It is also vital to understand that some relationships are meant to be released. Letting go does not mean hatred, revenge, or bitterness. It simply means choosing life over stagnation, blessing over compromise. There are friendships, associations, and connections that may have once served a purpose, but now limit your potential. To step into a season of blessing, you must have the courage to release the relationships that drain your spirit, sap your energy, and block your destiny. This is not selfishness, it is stewardship of your own life. Just as you would prune a tree to encourage growth, you must prune relationships to allow your life to flourish. Friends, the people you allow closest to your heart also affect your emotional and spiritual health. Words spoken over you, encouragement given, example demonstrated, all of these leave lasting imprints on your mind and soul. A toxic relationship is like a slow poison, quietly weakening your faith, dimming your hope, and sapping your strength. On the other hand, a relationship rooted in love, respect, support, and shared vision strengthens your confidence, energizes your heart, and opens your spirit to receive blessings. The company you keep can be the difference between stagnation and breakthrough, between frustration and fulfillment, between missed opportunities and extraordinary success. Now consider this. Some of the most powerful breakthroughs in life do not come from knowledge alone, prayer alone, or talent alone. They come from alliances, partnerships, and the support of those who believe in you. Surround yourself with mentors, advisors, and friends who push you beyond your comfort zone, who challenge your thinking, who model faith, perseverance, and discipline. These relationships become catalysts for growth and blessings, opening doors that you could never open on your own. Blessings often come through people, and people who understand your vision and purpose will accelerate the fulfillment of your dreams. Another crucial aspect of relationships is reciprocity. Blessings in relationships are never one-sided. Just as you allow people to lift you, you must also lift them. Encourage, support, pray for, and speak life into the lives of those around you. This creates a cycle of blessing that multiplies exponentially. A life of isolation, negativity, or selfishness repels blessings, while a life that contributes, uplifts, and empowers attracts favor and opportunity. Friends, the energy you give is the energy you receive, and the relationships you nurture are channels through which blessings flow. Friends, I want you to consider the emotional climate of your life. Your relationships are the soil in which your heart grows. If the soil is filled with bitterness, jealousy, and criticism, your potential will struggle to take root. But if the soil is filled with trust, encouragement, and love, your mind and spirit will flourish. The new year is an invitation to cultivate fertile soil in your life. Relationships that nourish, relationships that challenge you to rise, relationships that teach, relationships that inspire, and relationships that reflect the life you desire to live. Furthermore, some of the most transformative relationships come from unexpected places. People you may not yet recognize as teachers, mentors, or friends. Be open to connections that challenge your assumptions, broaden your perspective, and stretch your faith. The blessing you seek may come through someone you have yet to meet, someone whose influence will change the course of your life. But if your mind is closed, if your heart is guarded by fear, doubt, or pride, these blessings may pass unnoticed. Relationships are channels for opportunity, insight, and divine favor, and you must remain alert and intentional to receive them fully. Finally, friends, understand that changing your relationships is not merely about removing negativity. It is about creating alignment with your purpose and vision. It is about surrounding yourself with people who reflect the future you desire, who challenge you to grow, who remind you of your potential, and who walk with you toward the fulfillment of your destiny. The relationships you cultivate this year will either serve as a bridge to your blessings or a barrier to your dreams.